without further ado, let's just get started.
Okay.
First and foremost, how about telling me about yourself?
Okay. So yeah, my name is Muhammad Kaisar Andromeda Parlongan Harahap. Most people call me Andro or Andro. Yeah. My name is such as long because the one that give my name is my father and my mother and my grandfather. Yeah. So that's why my name is kind of long. I was born in Medan to 2nd April in 2009, and now I was living in Medan too, in North Sumatra, and I was the oldest child. Actually, I'm the first child in my family. So yeah, before in my I was graduation from my elementary school, that is SDIT Bunaya Padang Sidimpuan, because before I'm not stay at Medan. I just moved from to Medan just around 2 months ago, and now, but before I live in Padang Sidimpuan. It is in North Tapanuli, and I finished my elementary school there in SD Bunaya. And my hobby is, before, my I don't really like to reading books, but now yeah, it's be my hobby now. Okay, maybe that's all for me.
What about telling me about your dream job?
My dream job about is become a web and apps developer, and I want to create a startup company about AI too, because yeah, because nowadays AI or artificial intelligent knowledge is so useful for human, because now there's so many AI that help human work. For example, there is black box AI that help all of the developers to get a code for their program, and there is some app for we can make a presentation less than 1 minute, and there's so many other AI that published in the internet. So I want to be one of the developer of that AI.
Okay, putting aside the first question, we're going to the second one. You are telling me about your dream job becoming a web developer and has a big
Yes.
yeah, dream or want to make a startup companies, yeah,
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
So tell me about your IT skill before coming to EDN.
Before coming to IDN, actually, before I know IDN, it is, I don't have any skill to about computer, but when I was uh when I was graduated to enter IDN, I go to when I enter to IDN, I start before enter to IDN, I start to learn about about computer. For example, I start to learn about CMD, and I start to learn many things. For example, I start to learn to making games. So before I come to IDN, I started to make a game, but it's actually just an animation using Scratch. So my friend here just learned about Scratch in 7th grade, but I already learned about Scratch start from 5th grade. So yeah, maybe because of that, I'm not too confused about the UI of Scratch when the teacher explained me.
Okay. You might want to tell me more about your progress after joining EDN, starting from your IT and then your English, your Dinia, and your Tafis.
Okay, first in Tafit, before I enter to IDN, I just only memorized two juice, that is 30 juice and 29. But when I enter IDN, I add two juice from for my for in my memorization, that is just 28 and 27, but just 27 is gone because of something. And for the Dinia lesson, before, I don't know anything about manhaj, and I think before I go to IDN, my manhaj is like Nadlatul Ulama. But when I come to IDN and I see what is salaf is. I some I feel like I'm interested to salaf because yeah, it is the Islam that I know. It is the real Islam. I I don't even I the first time I don't know which one is the real Islam is, but when I see the rule of salaf, I suddenly like feel like, oh, this is the real Islam that Prophet Muhammad brings for us. So yeah, after that I moved to Salaf, and suddenly my family is follow me. I don't know why. Suddenly, it's just happening suddenly, and I don't know what happened to them. And but for English, before I can speak English. Before I come to IDN, I can speak English, but it's not uh it's not as perfect as now. Before I only can talking using English for a several sentence, and if I don't know, I will translate it. After that, I will copy the translation and put the translate to the text to the message box. But when I come to IDN now, I can speak English very clearly for me. Yeah, for me, I can speak English very clearly, and it is a big progress. Start from before I come to IDN, and for IT, yeah, it is the most progress that I have. Before, I don't know anything about computer. Uh, I, I, I don't even only don't know about computer. I don't know how to run some program in computer. I don't know to open Google. I don't know how to open YouTube. Exactly. But when I come to IDN, yeah, not just when I come to IDN. Before a few months before I come to IDN, a few months after I was graduate from my elementary school, I started to learn about computer, and yeah, now I have a big progress. Before, I don't know how to make a game, I don't know how to make a design, I don't know how to make an application, but now, yeah, because I have learned in IDN, so I knew how to make that all.
Okay. So you said that you are being a middleman to your family to know the manhaj salaf.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. And have you ever joined any competition?
I ever joined an international competition, that is IKCC, International Kids Coding Competition, and that competition is about scratch competition to making games about racing car. At the time, I make a game about racing car with Camille, but yeah, because I have some miscommunication, so I don't put the credit. So yeah, I just got the 13th place. But yeah, for overall, it's the biggest contest that I ever joined.
Yeah, in my opinion, you are still winning from your past. You make a progress for
Yes.
your IT joining that competition. And tell me one game you created here.
It's I have made large sum of game, and one of them is yeah, the name is kind of suspicious. The name of the game is Terrorist Training. It is the best game that I ever made, and that game is played as we play as the terrorists that training to kill the police and the soldier and the FBI agent to kill the president. So yeah, after we kill all of the police and the soldier and the FBI agent, we will go to the palace, and after that kill the king.
Okay, what an interesting game. I'd like to discuss it more later, okay,
Okay.
aside from this
Yes.
interview, because it's kind of suspicious in my
Yes.
opinion. But yeah, you
Yeah,
already
me
made
too.
it. It's just for the sake of learning.
Yes.
So yeah, it's fine. And then we are going to the last part. Any word for EDN?
IDN is the best school I ever found because yeah, in IDN we don't only learn about the theory, but we learn about how to use it and how that knowledge can be useful for others. So yeah, I don't like if I learn something I don't do project, or I don't have any purpose of that knowledge. For example, I just learn mathematics. Why do I stupid in mathematics? Because I think, what should I do with that knowledge in the future? Is that knowledge useful for me in the future? Is there any company that want to hire me because, hey, I ever get the first place of mathematics exam in my class? Is that useful for me in the future? So I rather choose knowledge that useful for me than a knowledge that only can give us ijazah. Then
Okay, you mean you love practicals,
yes,
lesson rather than theory.
yes.
Okay, I think that will conclude our today's interview. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay, sir. Bismillah, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this time, in this time, I will give a country report about my project favorite country, and my country is UAE. Yeah, this one of the length of this country is United Arab Emirates. Okay, so the first is, why United Arab Emirates? Because UAE is one of the Middle Eastern country that using Islamic for their government, Islamic rules. So the government is use Islam rules for their country rules. So it makes this country is very Islamic. Furthermore, this country is very famous for its luxurious and futuristic infrastructure. As you can see, there is the highest tower in the world, that is Burj Khalifa. It's located in United Arab Emirates. Especially, it's located in Dubai, and Dubai is one of the city in United Arab Emirates. And then next we move to the next one. The next is the unique facts about the UAE. UAE have so many unique facts. For example, that is the Dubai city. Dubai city is one of the city of UAE. Why I choose Dubai city for become the unique facts of UAE? Because Dubai is one of the famous city in the world, and it has a skyscraper in the number one skyscraper in the world, that is Burj Khalifa, that I mentioned to you before. And Dubai is one of the futuristic city also in the world. Dubai have so many things that is futuristic with so many technology. So, okay, move to the next is a tourist country. As you know, UAE is one of a tourist country. Why it's called a tourist country? Because it is a destination country for immigrant workers, and there is so many immigrants that work in Dubai or UAE. Because what? Because tourists like this country so much, because yeah, this country have so many landmarks, and after that, this country have a good views, and then there is so many places that we can make it as business. Okay, next, that is progressive government policy. The United Arab Emirates, or UAE, is provide many facilities for its citizens. For example, there is a free education, a free hospital, a free healthiness, and there is no tax in this country, because yeah, this country is, as what I said before, this country is use an Islamic rule, and one of the Islamic rules is your salary is yours, full yours, and we don't take any responsibility of your salary. We only take zakat mal of your salary for your obligation, and for all it's enough. It's for you all.
Oh no.
So
I bet.
yeah, because of UAE is used that rule, so they delete tax and for and for treat their and for build their country, they use zakat mal. Okay, next, there is before we are talking about uh, the unique facts about United Arab Emirates. So now we will talk about the culture. The culture of this country or United Arab Emirates is it's so many. It's a, United Arab Emirates is a country rich in cultural diversity, with in this country, which is in the country have more than 200 nationalities living in the country. So this country not only an Islamic country, not only a futuristic country, a luxurious country, but this country has so many things, so many culture inside of it. Okay, next, there is economy. UAE has the second largest economy in the Arab world after Saudi Arabia. Although the United Arab Emirates has the most diversive economy among the Gulf countries, it remains heavily reliant on oil. So oil is one of their is one of business of this country. Okay, next, a religion. As I said to you before, United Arab Emirates is a country that uh, have a majority Islam inside, that have a majority of the civilization is Islam. So Islam in United Arab Emirates is 76.9%, and for the rest is the other religion. Okay, next, yeah. After we're talking about the unique facts and the best thing of this country, why don't we know? Why don't we? Why don't I tell you about the landmark of this country? This country has so many landmarks. For example, there is Burj Khalifa Tower, which is the highest tower in the world, and there is Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, and after that there's Palm Island. This Palm Island is famous because is this is one of the islands that created by human, and there is Ferrari World Abu Dhabi. It is like a place for playing for kids, but with the theme it is Ferrari. And there is Louvre Abu Dhabi. It is one of the art gallery in Abu Dhabi. Okay, maybe that's all from my country report today about United Arab Emirates. I'm sorry if I have a mistake of my word and my behavior. Last word I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So, in this occasion, I will explain to you about my portfolio when and all of my project in junior high school when I study at IDN. So let's continue. The first project is IT project from when I was 7th grade. So when I was 7th grade, I have learned more about 3 things, that is Scratch, Buildbox, WordPress. Scratch and Buildbox is 2 platforms that we use for game development, and Scratch and we make a 2D game using Scratch and 3D game using Buildbox. And this is the example of my project. Here is the photo of Scratch. This is the game that I make. The name is Marvel 4, and the next is game Buildbox. Here I make the Flappy Bird, and the last is there is WordPress. It is actually not my website when I made it in WordPress, because my WordPress has expired, but it's some of the design that I wanted to make it if my WordPress still if I can still use my WordPress. Okay, so next to the 8th grade project. Okay. In 8th grade project, I have so many projects that I cannot tell to you all of them. That I can tell you a few of my project when I was 8th grade. That is Figma, Photopea, Spline, and Microbit. I use Figma for designing UI UX, merchandise, designing graphic designing, and so many and illustration too. So I create illustration, UI UX, and graphic design in this platform with Figma. And then for Photopea, I use Photopea for editing photos like this. This is the example of my poster using Photopea. I make an advertisement poster using Photopea about fruit tea. And then the next is Microbit. In Microbit, I make a project about robotics and IoT. A few projects I made by Microbit, and then the the last is there's Spline. What is Spline? Spline is a platform that we can use for 3D modeling. So we can use Spline for make a 3D model. For example, there is a keyboard that I have created. This the keyboard, and I have made a planet as well, and I have made a solar system. And actually, I have learned so many things in 8th grade. For example, I have learned about Inkscape. I have learned about editing videos, and there's so many. So, but I cannot told you all of them. So I just told you a few of this. This is only a little bit of my project in 8th grade, because instead of I have learned about robotics, I have learned about IoT too using KBID, and that is one of the hard project in IT when I was 8th grade, because on KBID, if your Wi-Fi is not supporting, then the program would not run as well. Okay, so we continue to the next is IT project in 9th grade. In this project, in this grade, I have just learned two things. Actually, I should learn three things, but once more is in the next summary. But now in this summary, I have learned two things. That is Modular and Android Studio, and one of them is for app builder or app engineer. In Modular, I have made so many applications. For example, there is student profile, and there is calculator, find my age, and so on. In Modular, we are not coding by a text like Android Studio, but we are code using a block code like a Scratch and Bootbox too. So I don't really feel this modular is hard. I just feel that this modular sometimes is lagging because it takes so many Wi-Fi. It takes so many internet to run. And the next is Android Studio. In Android Studio, I have learned so many things, but until now, I just understand about how to create a front end in Android Studio. I don't know how to make the back end or how to make that program is running. I just know how to make the design or the front web, the front layer of an application, and then for the other, I don't know how to make it because I just learned a little bit things from Android Studio. Maybe I will learn more about Android Studio when I was when I'm in vocational high school. So yeah, maybe I will learn about Android Studio more than I have learned in Android. Okay, so next. Before we are just talking about IT project. Then now why don't we talking about another project? For example, in Dinia. In Dinia, start from I was seventh grade. I have created so many projects and I uploaded on my YouTube channel. And a few of that video I have uploaded to uh, it is uploaded to IDN official channel. But in seventh grade, I've created one of the project that is speech Prophet Muhammad lineage. This speech is talking about the lineage of Prophet Muhammad, start from the Prophet Muhammad himself until his grandfather, the fifth grandfather named Kilab. And I don't just tell about the father lineage, but I told the mother lineage as well, from Aminah until Kilab. And then we continue to the next grade. It is eighth grade. In eighth grade, same. I created so many things, but now I will just present you about this one. This is my short movie that I made with Ilyasa, Akhtar, and Julian, and Faris as well. And this is a short movie about a mistake when we are doing prayer. So, and it is uploaded on my YouTube channel and IDN YouTube channel. You can see in our YouTube channel. And then in the ninth grade, I have created a lot of projects as well. But on this time, I will just give you a with a storytelling about Fatu Makkah. So I have created a motion graphic about the story of Fatu Makkah, and I have uploaded to my YouTube channel as well. Okay, so next. Now we continue to the English project. In English project, when I was seventh grade, I made a podcast video. I have uploaded in my YouTube channel with Nabil Alfaris. He is a 9A student. Because when I was seventh grade, me and Kamil was in the same grade, that is 7A. But I moved to the B class when I was 8th grade. And then the 8th grade project is telling a story about one of Rasulullah companion. The specialist of war is Zubair bin Awam from Bani Asad. And then the last project, it's not the last actually, but it's one of my project in 9th grade is English new concept called a new house. So in that project, I'll do a storytelling about a story of someone that just moving house to a new beautiful house, new beautiful and modern house. And then the last project is Starfit project. Here, why I showed you two projects of 7th grade, because I have finished my project. I have finished my target in 8th grade, so I don't have any Starfit project in 9th grade. So I just show you 7th grade, two of my project in 7th grade. That is Ida Tafid and KBM Tafid. In Ida Tafid, I just what task me one surah, that is Al-Qari'ah. But in KBM Tafid, I need to memorize until 1 juz in 1 year. And then in the 8th grade, I finished all of my SKL, because at the time in the first summary of 8th grade, I heard that our SKL get additional. So before our SKL is only 3 juz, but now we have to memorize 4 juz. So yeah, I just memorized fastly, and on one summary I get 3 juz. But in the next summary, in the next summary, our SKL get minus to be 1.5, to be 2.5. So yeah, and then my teacher said to me, yeah, it's okay because you has been memorize it. You can memorize your you can memorize Al Quran, not because of SKL but because of yourself. Okay, so yeah, in the 8th grade project, I translate Al Quran with the P in one sit, and I finish it. Okay, so maybe that is the last of my portfolio project. I'm sorry if I have a mistake on my word. Last what I say was Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.